Hi guys, Norm with you again, and we're back with this Audioline PT-342 repair. And if you haven't seen the first part of this video, I would advise you go and watch that first, and you'll see to where we got to. This is the front board from the 342 with the microphone connection, and this has been completely destroyed, but I have now resoldered all of these pins. There is 2 pins which have broken tracks. You can see that the little one there I think goes to that track, and then there's a little bit of track there that goes to that pin, and then all of those should be okay. And that's what I will be doing today, is just reconnecting those 2 and testing all of them that we have got continuity to where they're supposed to be going. And then what we're going to do is fix little bits of copper wire onto these traces, and we can see the ground trace there is supposed to come down that edge, and this ground trace comes down this edge to make 8 connections. And so we do that, and then there is 2 over this side. Well, a lot of these are not looking very good, so we'll have to fix those as well. But we're going to start off just by rewiring these 2, and hopefully that won't take too much trouble. We can do it fairly easily, and yeah, so we see how it goes. Hopefully we can get it all done in the one video. And so what I will be using is this is a little transformer core, and it's in very thin wire, and I will just make a link from there up to there. I shall probably start that end, and we'll come down and we'll wrap it around the pen a bit and then solder it. Then we do the same for this other joint, which comes in and goes to there. And once I get those 2 done, then we can start to think about these other connections, soldering with the phone in the way or the camera in the way. So I will now stop the filming. I'll make those 2 links, and then we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so here we are now. It's the next day, and you can see the wires here, which are linked what we done yesterday. And you might see now that I've made some grooves up here. And those grooves, the idea is to use this thicker transformer winding. And I've got this tinned along, and the idea will be to solder it on there, and then it will just sort of fold over the top. And of course that little groove is just there to kind of keep it in place. So that's how it should look. And I've done one over this side as a proof of concept. If the bloody tripod would move. Golly. Yep, so you can see this one here, and that is pretty much solid. Now, of course, there isn't really much there to solder onto, but hopefully it will be enough, and that'll be the thing. But I'm just gonna tighten this this is the plan. I'm going to straighten that. Okay, that needs to be held there. Come on. It doesn't help when you've got rheumatoid arthritis and shaky hands. Okay, so that goes over like that, and that's looking quite nice. Okay, so those two are actually looking pretty good. But it does look a little bit off on the camera. Looks like it is sticking up a little bit, but that is fine, no problem. So the next one, trying to keep my hand as steady as possible, but it doesn't help these days. Come on. That's why back in the day, I used to do very fine sort of soldering and things. And I used to put mod chips in the original PlayStations and stuff. Obviously, can't do that type of thing now, really, because the hands get so shaky, and there's such micro fine soldering inside modern consoles that a shaky hand just doesn't cut it these days. Okay, well, looking through the camera, that does look a little bit messy, but I'm not going to worry too much about it because it's not really bad, and once it's in the radio, really, as long as it makes a good contact, nobody's really going to see it, and so we should be fine. Let's just retin the tip of the iron. No, don't short to the next one. Half an hour. Come on. Shit, I knew something like that was going to happen. Come on, just separate. Perfect. Okay. Alrighty. So that's got the most of them done. Now I think for the other one, it's going to be better if I start off at the back and come up around like that. So we got those there. Now we need to secure them. And so the idea is to use some more of this varnish in lieu of solder paste or solder mask or whatever. Let's put several layers at this time. Let's let it dry in between. And that will then hold them in place, hopefully. And then we can look into maybe resoldering the other side if need be for them. But the thing now is just to keep this third one taut, or this last one taut rather, while that varnish dries. And yes, it'll probably take a few layers of the varnish to hold them all exactly steady, but no, that is looking good so far. Okay, so that's now got all those in position, and that nail varnish, which absolutely stinks, it's bloody horrible stuff. But I actually can't remember where this came from. I must have bought it for some reason. But yeah, it does stink, and it does take a while to sort of dry or cure I suppose it probably wants some like UV or something to help it to dry, but anyway, it's quite warm, 27 degrees in here at the minute, and so that's degrees Celsius, and so hopefully that will be enough to leave this for a few hours and that will dry, and that's looking very, very nice for a minute. And we'll see this side not looking as nice as I would have liked it to look, but again, it's functional. Okay, so here's how it looks so far. I did go over these solder joints again and actually made them worse, but they are all making contact and they are none of them shorting against each other. So I did then put a layer of the nail varnish over those as well. Several layers of nail varnish on the back there, so that should hold them in very nicely. And of course I made these two and they're kind of okay. I mean, that one almost wants to just squeeze down a bit. That's more like it. And so in theory now, this front board is done. There was a couple of loose ones here on this front panel. A couple of these were loose, but I did stick them down with a bit of varnish. Now what I just want to do, because I was quite heavy-handed with the varnish over here, I just want to give these a quick rub with a bit of sandpaper just to take off any varnish that might be residing on them. Obviously, if there's any varnish residing on these, it will make a bad contact. Same over here. Just like a bit. Okay, so that is now looking fairly good. I mean, as good as it can be. And I have tested with the continuity tester that all of them are going where they're supposed to. With this one, obviously having to come over to here, I did scrape off a bit of the original pad there, a bit of the original track, just to give it a bit of support, but that seems fine. And this all now is just about ready to go back in, I'd say. Well, I don't know if you could even see that when I was doing it, but we have got the one there now. Focus, please. Okay, so this one's now kind of acceptable. I could do with like sticking it down, really, but we'll do these other two, and then I'll probably come under it with a bit of varnish again and try and stick them down. This one seems to have a bit of a crack just there, maybe, so we'll just run over that with a blob of solder. And of course, the reason I'm having problems with the soldering iron, because this is my regular small soldering iron, is that I have got two fans running here at the minute, and of course it is a very, very, okay, so that one's gone completely as well, so we've got three more to fix. Let's just check with these for now. Let's put a little blob onto these. Come on. Okay. 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 Let's now tin the end of this. If we can. Come on. Okay, with the fans going, this iron is not going to get hot enough, so let me put in another iron, which will stand up to the breeze. obviously quite a warm day here in the UK, and this is a really shitty soldering iron, but it runs on USB and it gets very, very hot. So, watch me fuck this up completely now. Come on. That's it. Oh yeah. Join the two together, why not? Fucking hell. Okay, it's not looking terrible. I mean, at the end of the day, as long as the front panel can solder to this and make the connection, it doesn't really matter how it looks, I suppose. I mean, I would like it to look nice, but, you know, it's one of those things. Now we just got to check again for, check we've got connection on this. Okay, so, right, so, check we've got connection here, and we have no connection to there, and no connection to there either, and here, no, again. So there must be a capacitor on that line building up charge. So that's okay. That's pretty good. Well, it's as good as it's going to get anyway. For now, I'll try a couple more of these. And then I'm going to have to give it a break because I'm too exhausted to carry on with this today. So we'll try and just get these three done before I pack it up for the day. Okay, so this one has got a very nice point just here and a bit there, so we should be able to go to both of those, and that should give us a good anchor point. And this one, we've just got rid of this point here, and then it comes up and over and around the back, so we might have to bypass that one as well and do it another way. But this one looks like we should be okay. So, oh dear, dear. Okay, so this one's now done, and it's got a very good placement there, and it's ideal. We did have some problems with these other pins perhaps shorting, so we just need to double check that. No, we're clear to that one, and we are shorter from that one to that one, so let's just check it. No, we don't appear to be shorted to there now. And we're not. That's great. Now from that one to that one. Okay, no shorts. This is wobbling around a little bit, but that'll be okay, I think. So I just need to tin the end of that copper bit, if I can. The two fans running. Okay. Alright, well that is as good as that's going to get. Certainly for now. And it's amazing how mentally exhausting that was. Now I just want to double check before we go any further for short circuits. Try and get my hands out where the probes. No, we're not shorted to there. We're not shorted to there. Not shorted to there. Not shorted to there. And I just applied a bit of mess in there. That's okay, we go. There to there, we should be shorted. And we are. And that's good. There's the capacitor on that line. Okay, so there's two here that we still haven't made, but they will have to be done with link wires when the front panel goes in. And I have prepared the front panel, put it back in this thing. So the plan is now to, hopefully this will fit through here with the add-on. Okay, so that is in now. And if we look closely, we can see, if we'll focus, that all of those should be able to be soldered quite nicely. And over here, most of those should take soldering quite nicely. Obviously the two, the very end one and this one, we will have to add the all link wires, and maybe I can just use the thinner, once it's all in, I can just use the thinner wire just to make a link across there, and maybe a link across there with the thinner wire. But with the, what I'll do now is I will put the screws back in the side, and that will actually hold the board steady, because I think we need to keep the board steady now. So I'll put the screws in the sides here, and that will hold that all nicely. Can we see how it looks from this end? It doesn't look too entirely fucked up. I mean, obviously, you know, You can see some solder joints where there shouldn't be any, really, but at the end of the day, those appear that they will make a very nice contact, and then we can see if this thing will work. I'm not going to do any more today. I'm just going to split the screws in here. Focus. I'm not going to do any more today because I am exhausted. But what I'm going to do is just put the screws in the side there and then come back tomorrow to finish it off. Then we can see if it works. And hopefully, but you never know. I mean, the capacitors are probably still bad. I've got, well, shitloads of editing to do because this video is below 45 minutes so far. And yesterday's was about half an hour. So, yeah, not looking forward to editing that. But, see you soon, guys. Okay, so we've now got the job of soldering these to these and these to these, and then we have to obviously repair those two that are badly broken. And I've propped the board or the radio up on an angle, so that should make it easier. I'm just going to brush a little flux on there just to make it all nice, and a bit of flux on this side. Obviously the soldering iron isn't warmed up yet, I just turned it on, so that'll take a few minutes, but nice to just prepare and get things ready. That's all good. Okay, so the iron's warmed up, and now this could be a total abject failure, or it could go well. What's it going to be like? Let's see. Let's try this first one. Come on. Okay, well it's soldered there. It's not really very good. It didn't really want to solder to the front bit, but it has done. So that's one. Now if you want to do the next one, we're probably going to find that it all joins together and it all becomes one. So I just need to kind of get in here like this. Oh, that's it. That one went fairly easy. Oh, they were going so well until this last one. Okay, well, let's, come on, come on. Okay, that's got it. And I think now, if we just look at that a bit closer, focus. Yep, we can see each one of those is connected and it's very solid. Okay, now these have got, some of these have got a bit bigger gap, so it may be harder to get them, but let's try it anyway. Let's start at this end this time. Now, just looking at it, it looks like that one's attached to that pin beside it, so I'll have to double check that in a minute. Let's go for the third one. Great, and the fourth one, and the fifth. I've done 4 and 5 together then. That was good, wasn't it? 2 and 1. This one. Whoa dear. No, 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 no. Don't ball up like that. That's okay. And this one. Not entirely happy with this one. Certainly with it shorting like that, it doesn't help. Come on. Separate. Oh, God. Right. It's connected. Leave it be. See, I have to steady my hand somewhere. Yes, that's got it. Thank freak for that. Whew. Okay. So now I just have to solder it down literally to where it is. So if we can just I'll use these giant clippers rather than the small ones. Okay, that's got it by the looks of it. Okay, not looking the neatest, but it has got it and it is making a good contact. So that's good. A little solder blobs. Right, so we just got the one more to do now. And that's going to be as easy as pie. Right. Here goes. That's it. Just need to solder it down to that point there. And oh, fucked up. Perfect. Ideal. Whew. We got it. Hooey. And now throw the cutters on the floor, which is a very good plan. Carefully lift that and cut that. Right, huh? Are we anywhere near focused? No, not really. But that is now joined. And looking under the camera, none of them look shorted. But of course, we do want to test that before we go any further. So, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. There's one thing you forgot to tell me to check. And that was this one where it's linked to that pin. Now, I'm not sure whether that's supposed to be there or not. So let's wick off some of the crap. Some of the solder, I mean. Let me just put some flux on the wick. It does help. Put a bit of flux down there. Okay. Okay, well those are linked anyway. So that was alright, we didn't have to worry about it. I kind of half thought that was it, but we didn't know, so we had to check. Because the last thing we want is short circuits on the thing. Right, let's now remake this joint. Come on. Lovely, and resolder that. Oh, nice. Alrighty, well. Right, so now we just need to check each one for shorts. Now these are the ones which may get shorted. Some of them. No. No. No shorts. Obviously a capacitor on that line. Great, so none of those are shorted. And they're all making a contact to the front board. Yep. And they're not shorting to that. Okay. So I think this is ready for a test. So let's now get that out the way. What I'm going to do for this test, I'm going to put the good mic on from my good radio, because we don't know what's been done to this mic. Obviously, it's had 2 switches removed, so we don't know if this mic is really going to be any good. So put that to one side. Now, of course, not really expecting this to work, because I'm expecting the capacitors will need changing in this. We zoomed out. Yes. Right. So let's now just turn on the power supply. Voltage at 13.8. Right. Make sure the switch is off. Yep. And let's plug in and see what happens. Now, what's the bets Is it going to work? Is it going to partially work? Or is it just not going to do anything? Okay, it's not doing anything. So the TX-RX light is working, or the RX light is, nothing else. Okay, so turn that off. And let me just now try with the other mic. In theory, it should do the same with this mic as that mic, because in theory, they are wired the same. But we don't know. Certainly, this front board now is wired up as it should be. But what's this going to do? Nothing. So we are pulling a bit of current on the power supply. Nothing at all from this mic. Not even an RX TX light. Absolutely nothing. And if we look at this one, look at all these nice colourful capacitors. Oh, lovely, isn't it? Beautiful. And since I have recapped this one, and normally when you buy capacitors, they come in packs of multiples, means I should have plenty in stock to redo this one. So let me now make a list of all these capacitors, or if I can find the list from when I've done this one, and then we're set to recapping the thing. Superb.